What's up guys, it's Damien from Cool Mentors IT again. This is a bonus material for our first website video series where we create our first website. You don't say. From scratch. So if you haven't seen my previous videos, I encourage you to do so. And now let's go back to our project to finally finish it. So as you can see, our website is nearly finished, but today I'd like to add some cosmetic details and increase the overall responsiveness of it. Nowadays, you should always create responsive websites. And when I say responsive, I mean websites that display properly and look good on all devices with different resolutions. That means TVs, desktops, laptops, tablets, and smartphones. Everywhere. CSS gives us a powerful tool that can help us create responsive and modern websites. I'm talking about the media queries. In long story short, media queries allows us to apply certain CSS rules to certain resolutions. And we can use it on every element on our website. Now I'm going to show you how this works in practice by adding some media queries on our website. Here you can see I have my code editor and a live server project preview on my monitor. And now I'm going to add media queries to our project. We want to refer to our A elements in our navigation, because as you may know, our A elements have 25% of the whole navigation. And what we want to do is to tell our elements to have 50% of our nav tag when the resolution of our browser goes below 800 pixels. Now I'm going to show you how to do that. After our A menu CSS row, we have to type this quote, which means this is the media query. And now we want to refer to the max width of our element. Now we open and close our curly brackets, just like in every CSS rule. And now we have to tell what is supposed to change. So we want to refer to our A menu once again. Open and close curly brackets once again. And here we can type the CSS rule, which will only apply when our browser window will be 800 pixels of its width or less. So what we want to do is to set our flex basis to 50%. Now let's save it and see the effect. As you can see, nothing has changed at the moment. But it's because the property of the flexbox. As you may remember, I said that Flexbox is a very complex tool and I won't explain everything about it, but we have to know that using this property on our navigation, display flex, we say that our elements inside this navigation with display flex cannot wrap to another line. And to make it possible, we need to add another property to our navigation, which is flex wrap, because it's no wrap by default. So now let's save our project and let's see the effect. Ta-da! Now you can see that if our browser window is less than 800 pixels, our A elements have 50% of the width of the nav. We can do even more. Let's copy this whole thing. Let's paste it below. And let's say if our window gets 500 pixels or less, we want the flex basis of our elements to be 100% of the nav. Let's save it. And now let's see the effect. Ta-da! So if our browser has 500 pixels or less of its width, our A elements will have 100% of its width. When it's 800 pixels but not less than 500 pixels, our elements will be 50%, and above that, our elements have 25% as it was at the beginning. So this is how our navigation and the whole website will look on smartphones, for example. Now you can change many things by using media queries. For example, we can change the font size. Let's make it 25 pixels. And you can see when we decrease our window, our font size gets bigger. We can also refer to any element of our website. For example, let's delete it. We don't want to change our A element, but our H1 element. And we want to change its color on red. Let's see how this works. So now you can see we have this media queries rule applying to the max width of 800 pixels. And inside it, we can change many elements. Here we say we want our A element to have flag spaces 50% and our H1 element to change its color to red. Let's see how this works. Ta-da! You can set many different things, and as I said before, media queries are very useful and much can be done with their help. Let's delete those unnecessary rules. This H1, for example. I think everything now is how it's supposed to be. This is our website above the 800 pixels. This is 800 pixels or low. And this is 500 pixels or low. Now let's handle something else I wanted to show you. We set our hover effect on our A elements. You can see it's changing its color when we're hovering it, but the change is instant. And we want to set it to be more smooth. And to do that, we'll use the transition property. So let's go back to our A menu element. And what we want to use is transition property. And all we want to do for now is to declare the time of our transition. So let's make it 1 second. Let's save it. And now let's see how it works on our website. You can see the transition is very smooth and it lasts 1 second. 1 second is usually too much, so we can use 0.5 seconds. Let's see how this works. And now you can see it's quite nice and not too long. And that refers to every aspect of our hover element. Because now you can see we only change the background color, but we can also change, for example, font size to 25 pixels. And now you will see that change applies as well. Of course, that kind of effect looks ugly, so I don't recommend it. But you can experiment by yourself with many different properties and values. Let's delete it for now. This is how our navigation works at the moment. Now I want to create the subsite of our project. We are going to create the new subsite, because now as you can see when we click on any our A element, nothing actually happens. And what we want to do now is to make that when we click to our news, the new subsite will appear. So to do that, we need to create a new file. Let's call it news HTML. Now let's go to our index.html, select all the content of it by clicking Ctrl A on our keyboard, copy it by clicking Ctrl C, and paste it to our news HTML file. Now let's get rid of the content of our website. Let's delete everything from the article. And let's delete our iframe as well. So let's leave only the empty article in our section. Let's save it. Now let's create a p tag in our article. Let's type something just to show you the example. Let's save it. And now what we want to do is to set the active class, because you can see this class on our home page when we enter to our website. So we want to cut it from here and paste it in here, because we want this class to be active when we go to our news section. Let's save it. And now what we need to do is to change those href attributes, because now they are not doing anything as I showed you before. So now we have to put links to a certain subsite of our project. So this is going to be our index HTML file. And this is going to be our news HTML file. Let's save it. And remember that now we are on our news HTML file. And the same thing we need to do in our index HTML file. So let's go to our navigation. We want this class active to be on this side, but we have to change the href attribute to index HTML. And in our news section, we have to place our news HTML file. Let's save it. And let's see if it works. I click to the news and we got news. I click to the about and we are going back to our home page. And you can do the same thing with our other elements in our navigation. The next thing we want to add to our website is Google Analytics. It's a free and very useful tool that can help you to see what's going on your website. You can, and probably should, read more about it to see its benefits better. But for now, you should know that Google Analytics provides you important statistics and information about the users of your website. Okay, so let's add the analytics to our website. So when you'll go to the Google Analytics site, all you have to do now is to click Administration, create an account, enter your new account name, scroll it down, click further. The network option is checked by default, and that's what we want. Let's scroll it down, click further. Now we have to enter the site name, and the URL of our website when we'll get the domain and the hosting. So for example, then we click create, accept everything, click I accept. And now the most important part. This is your tracking ID, and all you have to do now is to copy this whole code. As you can see, it's a script tag. Let's copy it. And what you want to do right now is to copy it to the head element on each page of our website. So let's go back to our code. We are in our index HTML. We go to our head tag. Paste the code we copied from Google Analytics. Save it. And we have to do the same thing on our news HTML file. and on every HTML file of our website. Let's do the same. And that's it. And then you'll see all the useful information about your website, like users, sessions, bounce rate, duration of the session, active users at the moment, and many other useful things. So that's it, guys. We finished our first website, which we made from the absolute zero. You can feel proud of yourself. Seriously.
I'm proud of you.
I have to say it was a pleasure to work with you, and I hope to make even better projects with you in the future. But if you want that to happen, you better click that like button and subscribe our channel, because it's the best way to help us out. If you have some questions, head down to the comments. I'll try to help you however I can. But for now, thanks for watching. My name is Damien, this is Cool Mentors IT, and I hope to see you guys next time soon.